Hello everybody. In the last video, we explored how to utilize the SQL functionality within SAS. In this video, I will wrap things up by explaining how we can effectively work with SAS using the SQL language. In addition to covering the basic SQL operators in SAS, we will deliver into practical examples demonstrating how SQL can be integrated into your SAS workflows. We will also explore some advanced techniques and best practices, ensuring that you can leverage the full potential of SQL within SAS for data manipulation and analysis purpose. By the end of this section, you will have a clear understanding of how to work with both SQL and SAS together to optimize your data driven task. Okay, next we are going to see how to use an SQL in SAS. By clicking this icon, we will get a new SAS program, or else we can click a F4 button in the keyboard. Then we are going to use, yesterday we discussed about PROC SQL, right? PROC SQL is used for create a SQL report in SAS. SQL. And then we are going to viewing the column attributes of the tables. We will describe table option is there to view a column attributes in a table in SQL, but in SAS there is a PROC contents step is used to view the column attributes in detail in depth, but in SQL there is a describe table option. I'm having an SQ library. In that I'm having a customer data. So I'm going to view all the properties in the customer data, and then every PROC SQL statement ends with quit statement. So I will enter the quit statement. I made a mistake here. Sorry. In this also I made a mistake. It's okay. Now run the program. It takes 2 or 3 minutes to run the program, and then next we are going to previewing the table. We will use the from clause to view a specified number of rows, that is obvious observation is equal to 100. Sorry, my lib name is not assigned. First I would like to run this lib name. So what, my library is connected, and then I used to run my program, then my output will be okay. Now let's see the properties in the table. There are too many properties in the SQ table. SQ.customers was created like this, like see, there is a create table, SQ customer, so many are there. Now we are going to previewing the table. How we preview the PROC SQL? While using the select statement in the from clause, we will use the previewing the table option, that is PROC SQL, and then select this asterisk symbol stands for all the tables in the in this source table. From sq.customer, the same table used for describe table, and then I'm using the observation, that is I want 20 rows only because the running process gets time to load. So I will use the observation in the form clause. Yes is equal to 10. I'm giving 10 here, and then we will use the quit statement to terminate this query. I used to select and then run. See, there are these many tables have the column variable and fields. These are the rows, observations are record or tuple. There is only 10 rows have been selected from the source table, but in the describe table all the rows has been displayed for us. To select all the table in the column order, we should specify the asterisk symbol. Then we are going to use the SQL options, that is controlling process. In data step there are so many steps to control a process in SAS, but in SQL option there are three options in PROC SQL to control this reading options from the source table that are in obvious and out obvious. That's in obvious stands for to reading the source table that contribute to the query, limits the row from each source table that contributes to the query, which means while reading the table we should read this many rows only, that insists the source table to read. But in obvious is a data set option, it can be used after the PROC SQL. And then PROC SQL out obvious options restricts the number of rows that a query outputs. If the table having a 500 rows, the 500 rows has been read in the source table in the library, but the 10 rows have been displayed in the output. But in obvious only 10 rows has been read inside the table. Okay, now we are going to use PROC SQL in obvious is equal to 15, and then we will copy paste this. Ensure you should not use this from clause option while using the in obvious, so delete it appropriately, then run. Sorry, I made a mistake by running the program. Now it's give the correct results in a table. See that PROC SQL only creates a result, not an output table. Here in the log, there is a message. There are so many tables, but only 15 records were read from the SQL customer due to in obvious option, because there are so many rows in the SQL.customer source table, but in obvious did only first 15 rows are being read from the report. Now we are using the out obvious. While running the program, see, there are so many tables, there are one source table, so many rows have been read. Only statement terminated yearly due to out obvious 15 option, because we are specified an out obvious. We should have a report which contains only 15 rows. So what, we specified the out obvious. Now we are using the another option that controls whether the row number is displayed as the first column in the query result. That is a number option. It specifies the row number in row wise. In the select statement, we will use the asterisk symbol to call an order to all the columns. An input table, that is from the from class, we will use the dataset option, that is an OBSN. And then describe table is to explore a table. And then PROC SQL in obvious and out obvious and number or PROC SQL options. It's take time to run the program because so many rows are in the table. To fix the numbers for each row, it takes some times. Okay, we will see what is the comparing between the SQL and the data step. SQL creates only the report and the data step creates an output table. The SQL also reads an unstructured data, more control of how SAS process the data. Can create a multiple tables in one step, that SQL does. Includes looping and array processing. PROC SQL is a compilant to the data step, not the replacement of the data step. Sometimes the PROC SQL is the best tool to use, but in another situation, it is better to use the data step. Data step are used to prepare a data in which to describe what you want to do, not how to do it. SQL is an optimizer compared to data step. Now this program takes too long time to run. We will refresh the section. Using the SAS dataset options is an SAS enhancement in the from clause. We can use the obvious, then we cannot use the another SQL query outside the SAS platform. Only in SAS platform we can use the obvious is equal to 10 option. And then an in obvious and out obvious and all the SQL set options. The number option is also an SAS enhancement. I cannot able to view the number options because it takes so many times to load. I will show in the another video, and then ending up to this section. Thanks for watching. Thank you.